It's working. It's working. Uh, are we on now? I don't know. Am I live? Let me have a look. Oh, I can hear myself. Oh, God. How do I stop hearing myself? Oh, God, my voice. Oh, yay, Pez. Is that echo?
My microphone exists.
Yeah, no,
Hello,
sorry. We're
everybody.
not doing very well. Let me tell you about Gemma's life while Dave fixes everything. So, like the whole week, I was feeling like I thought I had burnout. Like I had to do my tax return for World Reachy. I had a shit ton of work and like just you know I'm never very good when it comes to the end of winter. I'm definitely one of those people who gets like seasonal affective disorder. So I was just low and I was just like, oh, I'm just burnt out. I'm just low. And then today, suddenly everyone in my house has got a temperature. And I'm like, oh, maybe I was just super sick the whole time. So yeah. Apparently there's a lot of Gemma echo.
Is there Gemma echo? There shouldn't be Gemma echo. There should be a single Gemma.
Oh, right, no, Pez had 3 streams open, so this is totally on him. Right, okay.
Okay.
Get your shit together, Pez. Get your shit together, Pez.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a week for me. I really don't like doing tax returns. That's my takeaway, especially for like companies, because there's things that for my personal business, I just use a very basic cash accounting scheme. So the money goes in, the money goes out. You take one number away from another and see what you've got at the end, and then you work out how much tax you've got to pay. Right? It's pretty, it's not that challenging. But then for like, because this is the return that covers the 2022 event, apparently you can carry forward gains and losses into the year of the event.
Ooh.
And so I was like, they did it the year before, and they're like, okay, well, because this was a payment for the event, we're going to carry it forward. And they're carrying forward, and this is just not stuff I can do with and I just don't understand. Yeah, Pez, you might have to do my accounts. You might have to do my accounts because it's just a hot mess. And well, I mean, and I always know what the outcome is. Well, is that Gemma's poured shit tons of money into the company to keep it going. And
what a familiar outcome. I've never had that happen.
And what I don't like is knowing the exact figure, whilst you're just putting like $1,000 in here and there to stop it from folding. You're like, okay, well, I don't know how much I've actually put in there. And then they're like, okay, you put this number of grands in. You're like, ooh, that's a lot of grands.
That is a bunch.
I could have done something else with my money.
That is a bunch. That's frustrating.
Yeah. Do you know what? And this is really like probably not a conversation anyone's interested to have, but it's steering a Western Ricci Mahjong initiative into something sustainable financially has been over 10 years in the making, and there doesn't seem an end in sight still.
No. Well, there might be.
Well, I mean, Dave is there on his and Dave is doing his grand work with his sparrow's nest, but for WRC, I don't know. I'm at the point now, and I'm just shooting the shit now. It's not something I'm really going to do, but I was like, I wonder if I put a price on this and sent out to market, what the response would be. Would someone buy this?
The Saudis would.
Do you reckon they'd buy the WRC brand?
They'd buy any sports. They just love buying sports. They're like, could it be a sport? Is it maybe a sport? We're going to buy it. We're going to buy it. We're going to buy it now.
Okay, so do you reckon they'd give me like $500,000?
No.
No, okay. That's what I want.
No, I don't think they'd give you $500,000 for that.
Really? That's the sum of money for some reason I settled on this week, that I was like, $500,000. It's a good amount of money.
It is a good amount of money.
I can't sell WRC though.
No,
I can't. It's not ready.
It's got to go further. Exactly. There's so much more that can happen. There's so much more we can do. I think Tokyo is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I think at some point though, this is what sustainability is, right? At some point, it's going to grow bigger. I mean, arguably, it's growing bigger than what I can manage as it is. But it's not got that financial backing behind it, which meant that I can take it to the next stage. It's really that what I'd want to do is I just want to do that for my job.
Well,
So
yeah,
like,
like I'd love
and
to, I'd
then I
love
can
to be able to work as a Johnso owner. That'd be great if that was my job. If I could actually like pull a
exactly.
salary that
I
that
know.
would allow for me to live as a Johnso owner. How cool would that be? That'd be great.
I know. I
Um,
know.
maybe one day.
Yeah, I don't know, but especially like WRC being on like a 3-year venture, I don't know. It's really tough, and there's so much demand for people's money and attention now as well.
There is, but I don't think the problem. I think the problem is really just outreach and publicity. I think it's really
Hmm.
just a matter of getting out there, talking to
But
people.
everything
Um,
I think that I'm like, oh, we could do that, and that could maybe raise some money for WRC, and then you're like, actually, I mean, events we just can't make money from those.
no,
Any event that is going to be, the qualifiers that are going to be done for 2025, none of those events will make a profit. I mean, they'll break even. They might make a small profit, a couple of hundred, if that.
I mean, at least within the U.S., it is literally not possible to profit
No,
off of events.
exactly,
Um,
exactly.
in
Because I mean,
any meaningful way other than like a lunch.
because I think that was my original vision, that we would be able to run events and that we would be able to take some of the money profit from that, and then it would go back into WRC to do, I mean, even paying like the accountancy firm to do my accounts, that's going to be $1,000.
Well, there's a
You
few
know?
different types of problems with profiting from events. Like the biggest problem, frankly, is that like undercutting will always happen, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. This isn't necessarily a
No,
complaint,
that's
but
just
it's like,
competition.
yeah, people will always choose to run events for less, and then people will go to the cheapest event they can go to, and there's really no way to. And this is, I think, a problem for any game that does not have kind of exclusivity.
Mm.
Is that like if anyone can, chess, checkers, whatever you want, if anyone can run a cheaper checkers tournament, why would people go to the more expensive checkers tournament?
No, no.
Don't know.
But
And there'll
I mean,
always be someone willing to run like a
I
bone
mean,
cheap tournament
I
that,
guess
that
the
you
hope
know,
for WRC would be we offer a unique experience.
sure, but
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
unique.
I
I mean,
think,
you need a customer base that's really excited about that unique
yeah.
experience.
But I think the bigger problem is just the way, when you're hiring a hall, they hire it on the assumption you're going to have 4 times the amount of people we actually fill it with.
Yeah. The space requirements
Yeah.
are challenging for venue space.
It's difficult
Um,
to upscale these events, really difficult.
yeah,
Because that would be the other option is we just get more people through the door, but the same amount of space. So we're not paying extra. But every time we have 4 more people through the door, I need X more amount of space. And they're not moving either, because other events you could expect, if you're in a convention, right, you're only going to expect 2/3 of the people who bought a ticket that day to be in the event
right.
hall.
Yeah, you can kind of oversell for a convention.
Right, exactly. But and they're going to be moving around, and they're going to go in and they're going to go out, and they're all standing up, and sometimes they're cramming themselves into queues to see whatever the newest thing is. It just gives you a lot more opportunities to, and of course, you make money on your concessionary stands. I assume they make huge amounts of money on selling cheap, nasty hot dogs to people at conventions. Yeah.
Well, the thing about WRC itself, Pesnator, and I'm 2 iterations out of date, I guess,
Mm.
is that like it is a good chunk of money. Like WRC is not a cheap event to attend. I'm not going to pretend it is.
Hmm.
It is a unique experience, and the challenge is that all of the money that came in my experience, went directly out towards making the experience as awesome as possible for people. And then you hit this other side, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like, it's not, I can run, I could charge, if I could charge $200 a head for a tournament here in New York City, I could make some money off of that tournament. Not a huge amount of money. I can make some money off that tournament while making it still nice.
Hmm.
$200 a head is a good chunk of money, though.
Yeah. But I mean,
Uh,
I think, WRC, I think the back of the envelope calculations were that if each 400 euro ticket we sold, it actually cost 800 euros per head.
yeah.
That's how much the event is subsidized by for each individual attending. And I think, because people look at 400 euros as a huge sum of money. It's a huge sum of money.
It's almost $500.
But I don't think people appreciate that. I think people, 400 euros, and they assume that 400 euros makes us break even. It doesn't even come close to making us break even. Yeah, can you divide things in multiple rooms? We discussed that as well. Actually, it just becomes even more problematic because then you have more staff,
Yeah, it's
more
challenging from the
logistical
staffing side.
problems. And I think people like being in that big room. It's certainly been a big draw
Well, we did the
for.
split room in 2017, which worked pretty okay, but we did have logistical challenges with like having people go back and
Yeah,
forth
so
and
yeah, we had
staffing.
we had yeah we split the room into two main, but that was partly because we needed to get people going into the lunch at different times, right?
Yeah, because we staggered the lunch so it didn't
Yeah.
overwhelm the
Oh God,
facilities,
that
and they
was
would.
hell. But then remember we took the dividers down for the final day so that everyone had that feeling of being all together in one big room. And I
Yeah,
think people
yeah.
like that. So it's difficult, difficult.
I mean, I think the real issue, the key to unlocking all of this is building audience. Events like, I mean, you got to look at it like the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Um, the Super Bowl is a football game. For those of you who don't know, it's a big old football game. Um,
We only
and
know about the adverts that they show in the Super Bowl. That's
yeah, I
all
was
they
going to
seem to
say, and
talk
those
about.
advertisements were so much money because there's such a
Yeah.
massive audience. And the problem with WRC as an event in structure
Hmm.
is that you can't sell tickets to watch, really.
Hmm.
So you need an interested audience. Once you have that audience, you get things like sponsors. You get
Yeah.
things like advertising. You get things like that where people want to be associated with this big event that everyone's watching. So I think audience development is one of the big must dos for Mahjong.
Yeah, it's something I've neglected, quite honestly, because my
It's really
focus has
hard.
always been on the player experience. Because I'm like, Jesus, these people are giving me a huge sum of money. They're taking time out of their lives. For some people, they could have saved for years to attend this
Yeah.
event. And my focus has always been to not, especially after that Fire Festival thing. I remember
Oh
having
God.
nightmares.
Yeah.
Do you
Fire
remember? Because that
Festival.
was before 2017, and they put the documentary out just before the 2017 event. And I watched it. And I'm like, we're not going to do that. No one's on an island, at least.
No, we came close. But
Yeah.
no, it's
I
but
have a
I
lot
think
of
I think that's
nightmares of
also true
disappointing
because
people.
the first level of making WRC a good event is having people coming away from that event saying like that was amazing, I had a great time, this was a great event. Like I don't think it's a mistake or a misstep to say I want to focus on player experience. I just think broadly speaking,
Mm.
to make it a long-term sustainable event, to make it something people are long-term interested in or excited about, you need like audience development is the thing that needs to be worked on
I mean, and that's, I guess, where
because
Luke de Brun is putting, investment into actual equipment to start
mm,
streaming these things.
but it's not just streaming. Again, I,
It's
I
not
always
just
I always run
streaming.
into people
Yeah.
who are like, "Oh, if I stream all our games, it'll make Mahjong grow and explode." And like, eh, it won't hurt, and it's great for you to watch. And it's great for me to watch. It's great for people who already know the game to watch.
Uh,
It's a matter of like, how do you really get normal people interested and engaged and playing and doing
okay,
and
but
and
then this
growing.
is this is kind of what makes me shudder because I feel that the desire to create content has almost it's been partly what's been ruining video gaming. Like these games are no longer games. These people are working out content creation for purchase.
But video games are in. I can talk about video games for a while. Video games are in this very interesting position where the market is so wildly oversaturated.
Uh,
It's kind of a different world where like a video game comes out and then within 3 months, like no one cares about it anymore. So you have these 3 months during which you get the most streamable bits. So your favorite streamers can stream cool parts of the video game, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that was cool." Anyway, on to the next exciting game because keeping that hype cycle going kind of profits all the big players. 3 months, yeah,
yeah,
3 months
three
is
months is
generous.
generous. I
Yeah,
agree. And
yeah.
I will tell you now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is fucking awesome. It is just honestly, geez, I'm so happy. I can't tell you how happy I am. You should definitely play it. Everyone should play it. It's a real game. It's a really good game. And do you know what? I love the way they've managed to change it, but with the anchor points to the original. Does that make sense?
Oh, I've been hearing a lot of very angry nerds that are upset that the original has been changed in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, you see, I'm quite on board. Like they've got the main anchor points that I'm like, yes, this is the story I love and remember. But they've made. I mean, come on. If we went back and played the original, there's no way There's no way you deal
Mm.
with that story nowadays. It's just silly.
Yeah, it's got some blips. Dunning Cougar is right. Like, yeah, the it's so strange to me how few video games. What's really strange to me is how the industry has done this like really rapid shift where first they were like, okay, you know, we're going to make games. You're going to buy the game and play the game. Cool. Then I was like, oh, MMOs. MMOs are great because people love paying a monthly subscription for the game. And then they all found out that if you weren't World of Warcraft, you would die immediately, except for Final Fantasy XIV, which just like clung to that Final Fantasy name until it established itself. And I love FF14, but like FF14 somehow survived in a world where literally every other MMO has gone completely extinct.
Despite making the worst game ever.
Yeah, despite complete like that is a truly amazing industry story. Yeah, you released a game that was just hot garbage. You were just like, I am very sorry, and you took your game back, and then you remade it into the only MMO that has managed to be a consistent success in a world where World of Warcraft exists and basically dominates that market. Like,
I think I'd been in Nintendo
quite the accomplishment.
6 months of a Nintendo when that whole collapse happened, and I just remember sitting there with my Nintendo buddies, just Googling and watching. It's like, wow, how did you manage to mess it up that bad? You could have just done the other one, but a little better.
Literally copied it. Well, that's kind of what they ended up doing in many ways. And you go from this MMO bonanza / bust, right, where everyone's spending so much money. And MMOs are not cheap games to make. Everyone spends so much money making these giant MMO games and then just releasing them to like a complete rock drop of everyone being like, cool, bye, and like no players at all. And that immediate, you could like wince as that immediate pivot happened. Like game comes out a month later, oh, we're transitioning to free to play. It's like, oh, you're fucked. Like you failed. You're fucked. That's what happened. You failed. Congratulations. Could have told you this months ago. You were gonna fail. Even BioWare with like their Star Wars MMO, the biggest property, one of the best companies, or the most highly regarded company at the time. And yeah, now Pez is live service. Live service is the next game. Someone's like, well, what if I just make a game that people play forever? Yeah. What if I make a game that people play forever? And it's like, don't you know no one does that? Like, don't you know? Again, this is great for the business people. They're like, oh, well, you make the game free, and then people just play it forever, and then they keep feeding money, and it's just like phone game. Live service games have been another giant, massive, wet thud for the vast majority of them, except for like the 2 or 3 that people bother playing.
That's what I'm telling you.
On sheer inertia.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does none of this for you. You get the disc, you put it in your machine, and you play it.
Yeah, well, I mean, single player games still have weight because they're they're more like movies. They're packaged experiences that you can pick up and play through it and be done with, and that has more. It's such insane madness that's happened in this industry where the only thing to do is to like pump up the hype for the next game, get that game out, sell as much as you can, stream as hard as you can in that first month or two, and then like accept the fact that your game is just dead and move on. Power has that attitude, but so does FF14, interestingly enough. Like straight up Yoshi P has been like, yeah, we expect people to play other games. Like the point of our game is not to suck you in so hard that you never have to play any other game.
Oh yeah, that's partly why I like FF14. Like sometimes I might play it for months for like 10-20 minutes a day just to kill off a break time, or then I won't play it for a month, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, that's what I'm going to do every single night for the next 2 weeks. It's I don't know, but then hey, someone said something really weird to me. So I was playing FF7 and I think I've only just got to chapter 3 or whatever, and I'm in 16 hours into gameplay. And they were like, do you have like ADHD or something, Gemma? Because that's not normal. And I'm like, how can that not be normal? I'm just playing the game. Like there seems to be this really weird drive that to play the game, you just have to like pummel through the content, get through the story as quickly as possible, like speed run everything.
And I'm like,
is this a weird Twitch problem? Like, I guess, do you know what? I am just aimlessly running around.
Yeah, I don't care, man. Do what you want to do. Like, a lot of people get weird ideas about the right way to play games, and Mahjong is one of those games to keep at least vaguely anchored to Mahjong. But like, a lot of people do end up with kind of weird ideas about what the right way is to play and the things you should do and what's like the honorable or respectful way to play. Like, man, do what makes you happy with your game. If you're happy playing Final Fantasy 14, $12 a month to play for half an hour a day and run around in circles, like, you do you. You're not diminishing. However I choose to play, you're not diminishing my experience in the slightest. Yeah. So whatever. Like,
it's interesting because I think chess has definitely had that problem, right? There's been periods in chess's life cycle where they've decided that a certain way of playing chess is correct, even though it's a losing way of playing chess. And I think that shogi has had similar problems in that there's these trends, and they're like, this is the correct way. This is the right form for playing this game. And Mahjong has it so bad, and I think it becomes even worse when it hits the West, because a sort of mode of playing might be sort of half translated out of Japanese into the West. And they're like, but this is the way the Japanese do it. And you're like, it is and it isn't. But then it becomes, it kind of gets out of control and becomes a beast in its own right. I don't know. Maybe I'm going off in tangent, but I've heard some people say that's not how they do it in Japan, and I'm like, I mean, that's how some people do it in Japan because it's a quite a diverse player base. Um, yeah, I mean, closed, open, lots of that stuff. That's definitely come and gone. I definitely, when I first started playing Mahjong, there was this like real attitude that playing open was for like beginners, and closed was the true way. And now I don't think anyone who's doing well at Tenhou is playing a very closed game.
Yeah, Tenhou's going to be hard closed.
Hmm. Oh, Reki, don't start me on people using Japanese terms. Do you know what's even worse? I was watching an unnamed stream in English, and they were using Japanese terms, but the pronunciation was so singular. It took me a while to realize they were using Japanese terms, and I was like, "What are they saying?" Yeah, and then I've had people on a table and they've said something Japanese to me, and I've kind of like done a double take. First of all, I'm not expecting someone to speak to me in Japanese at an international event. So my brain is listening for English, especially got a lot of second language English speakers. So I'm always trying to make sure that I'm keying in right. And secondly, your pronunciation is so weird. I don't think I'd understand it even if I did know you were going to come out with some
Thank
Japanese.
you for following Mind Sport Glasses. Mind Sport
Hi.
Glasses, that's pretty cool.
I mean, there's some Japanese terms that I agree it's really difficult to replace, like pinfu. I think,
I mean, that's a really hard one because the Japanese terms are kind of pleasant and succinct in some times.
Jem's giving me
Uh,
trust speech. And the
but
other thing as well is none of these terms are Japanese anyway. It's
oh
like
yeah, that's also true.
garbled Chinese. Like
I'm so
you
so
ask my
I've been
husband what some of these things mean, he's like, that's just nonsense. That's not even Japanese. You're just making noises at me.
I've been so ashamed, weirdly ashamed. So like over the past few months, I've been participating more in playing Hong Kong Mahjong because we have a Hong Kong League of Sparrow's Nest. I went out the other night to learn to play Taiwanese Mahjong, but I don't want to
Oh.
say any of the Mahjong words I know because I know all the Mahjong words I know are just like stolen and also mispronounced Chinese words. So I just sound like a dumb, stupid idiot, and then I sound like a double dumb, stupid idiot because like then people don't even know that I know the Japanese term and I'm saying the Japanese term because no one knows what those terms are. They just think I'm just completely unable to pronounce anything. It's terrible. Hong Kong Mahjong filled with the most skill and complexity is reach. So I played a whole bunch of Hong Kong actually over the past 2 Hong Kong League sessions, and I will say Hong Kong Mahjong has a different set of skills. The number of valid hands you can make are lower. The awkward flower bombs can be unpleasant. And like it's challenging. It's challenging in like a different way. There's definitely a lot of being aware of what other people are doing. There's definitely a lot of trying to build your hand the best you can and trying to not throw things other people need. It's less like regimented than Reach, and so there's a bit less like math you can put to it and a bit less hard strategy, but I definitely wouldn't call it like an unstrategic game or a game where you don't have to think. To be fair, I'm playing 3-point minimum. So I could imagine if there was like no point minimum, Hong Kong's just 13 plus 1. It's the same. Taiwanese is 16 plus 1. But with no point minimum, I think all those games do become really, really simple. And Reach would be just as simple with no point minimum because you can just call out to make a no point hand and have fun. But in Hong Kong and Taiwanese, there's usually, or at least as I've been playing, the scoring structure is a bit less. Well, for our league, we've built a scoring structure. But if you're playing like without scoring, if you're playing something very basic, it becomes a little bit more fast, a little bit more aggressive. Just call the finish and you're done. But when you start putting a point restriction and a scoring structure on top, you start duplicating some of the things you see in Reach. And you start getting strategy into that game. That's how a lot of people play when they want a bit more strategy. I still love Reach. I'm not giving it up, but I have been very curious to explore some of these other rule sets. Player edge. I don't know. I'd say Dunning-Kruger. I don't think I've played Hong Kong enough to have or observed enough high level Hong Kong play to really be able to say that with any level of understanding.
It's kind of interesting that we've got Mahjong competition rules and Ricci rules as international rule sets, and that Hong Kong hasn't really managed to become at that sort of international playing field yet. Which is odd to me, being Hong Kong being a very international city, obviously, that no one's done that. Don't know. I mean, MCR is a little bit of a cobbled together rule set as well. It's been designed.
I mean, to be fair, Ricci is already international, right? Like we're already doing it. We're doing it in Europe. We're doing it in America. It's all over the place. I will agree. Ricci takes more time to learn, but I think that really is more about how do you get people in the door, and that's part of why to totally shill for myself. That's part of why at Sparrow's Nest we're just like, let's just get people playing Mahjong. The more people play Mahjong, the more you'll find the players of Mahjong who think that the types of restrictions and rules pyramid that you build with Reach is good and interesting. Because I see, you playing Hong Kong, I see how all these Reach rules kind of evolved out of this. You're like, well, this is cool, but what if you did this? And what if you couldn't do that? And what if it had to be like this? Like, it makes a lot of sense. And so, I think a lot of people, if you really like Mahjong, you're going to want to climb that tree. And I think you're going to find that if you are interested in competitive Mahjong, that Reach is probably the best rule set for that. It brings the most skill to the game, I would say, out of what I've experienced so far. And some people won't. Some people I grew up playing American Mahjong. My family plays American Mahjong. I love it. And I love it so much I want to compete at it maybe. Sure, whatever. That's great. That's awesome. And I want to support that. And, or I grew up playing Hong Kong with my family. Like, the idea is if we support all of that, we build the overall Mahjong player base. And this is like, the pyramid comes from there. I do agree that if you just sat down and said, hey, everybody, sit down and play Reach right now, isn't this a great competitive game? You're going to have a hard sell. And so usually in our outreach programs, what we try to do is just say, here, learn about how general Mahjong works. It's a Jin Rummy style game. This is how you make a hand. This is how you complete it. And then we start to tease some of those rules add-ons that make Reach interesting. And a lot of people are fine just playing Hey, make a hand. That's fun for them. That's great. Do it more. You'll either learn to be interested in more, or that's where you found your fun, and that's awesome.
Do you ever wonder, though, that if Mahjong had been conceived of at the same time as chess, it might have had a similar level of success to chess, or maybe even beaten chess?
I think Mahjong's biggest challenge is that it immediately went into the realm of gambling game.
That's interesting.
Or was born in the realm of gambling game. I think chess had this immense benefit that chess and shogi and go, all these games, frankly, have the same. They come from the same stock, where they were like immediately seen as intellectual and aspirational games. If you were smart and cool and wealthy, you played these games.
But perhaps Mahjong, rather than the gambling thing, it just ran into political events that overtook it, like World War II.
To some degree, yeah.
The Chinese Communist Party. And
chess lived through the Dark Ages, like.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, that was a very different world, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, you had this kind of golden age where lots of different types of games were being formed, right? It's not just chess, but there were lots of games that were being passed around and people were playing them. You don't have that so much in a post-World War II world.
Well, we do. They're just different.
Do you know what? World War II is less than 100 years ago.
That's crazy.
Don't
worry, it'll be 100 years ago soon. Just wait till it is 100 years ago. Won't that be more exciting? But
I was thinking the other day, I was like,
games.
Do you know what? When I was born, I was only like, I don't even know when, I was only 40 years away from World War II.
The randomness makes it not directly comparable. But
does anyone want to review a game whilst we're here? And then we
should review a game. If anyone has a game.
I've got 1 to 7. If you give me a number 1 to 7, you can have one of my games from this month if you like.
Okay. What do you got?
Give me a number from 1 to 7.
Oh, number from 1 to 7. Oh, what's a good number? The number's going to be like 5.
5. Right, you can have that game.
5.
No, I don't know how to do it again. Copy link address. Right.
But I think people do gamble on everything. I think chess's actual lack of randomness also. These things, when the game was first appearing, make this type of game seem, again, this is an intellectual game. It's not about dice. It's not about gambling. And positioning is really important. And I think chess starting from that position and growing in that position helped a lot because it made it seem like a desirable or worthy pastime. Not that Mahjong isn't an immensely worthy pastime, but societally, people generally viewed gambling games as unworthy pastimes, not things that you wanted to glorify or do. Um, and I think that hurts Mahjong. I think that fundamentally hurts Mahjong, for better or worse. There's no avoiding it. Um, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge we face.
Yeah, I think we sometimes forget how early on we are in Mahjong's development. I have every confidence in 1,000 years' time, Mahjong will still be here and people will still be playing it
I know that,
if we
lady.
haven't, if we have climate change hasn't wiped us all from the face of the planet. Um,
Mm.
so I have every confidence, and so if you think of it in that span of time, we've barely started. You know, we're maybe
Yeah,
150 to 200
it's
years.
still a young game. There's lots
Yeah,
that can be
compared to
done.
chess,
There's
like
lots that we can
how
do.
old is chess? How old is chess? I don't even know. Yeah, oh yes, and my W button's not working, people. So if anyone knows how to fix the W button on a Microsoft Surface laptop, that would be really helpful. Oh my God.
You
Come
just
on.
punch it. You just punch it forever.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Let me see. How old is chess? 1475 to present. Its
Yeah, that's pretty
predecessors are
old.
900 years earlier. So basically that's where we are now. We are 1575. We're not even
I mean,
close.
you're right, Pez. Poker was able to do a real aggressive launch because poker found a great way to make a watchable format with
Mm.
relatable human drama.
Hi, Cho.
That's what happened. Hey, Joe. That's what broke poker out. It was a format where people could watch and understand what was going on, and the human drama that they were watching was something they could relate to. And that also was able to serve, and that packaging was also able to serve people who were deep into poker and did really love the game.
Mm.
And I think that's like, yeah, being able to learn poker. Poker's super easy to pick up and learn. Poker is also a game without a chombo. I mean, you can mess up, right? I can bet everything on a crap hand and lose, but there's very little I can do in poker that by mistake that will
Mm.
ruin the poker hand for everyone. And again, that's very much a Japanese mahjong thing because of the level of stuff put on top of it, which is why I feel like just growing mahjong in general
The
and
other
getting people
benefit of
more aware of the
poker, of
game in
course, is
general.
you can have a game in your
Backgammon,
house
yeah,
and you don't have to have a number divisible by 4.
yeah, that's true. The numbers are easier. String.
um,
What is string betting? There's
but
also
yes,
bridge. Don't forget bridge.
string
Bridge was
betting.
wildly popular, at least in America, not worldwide. It wasn't really televised. I don't believe. I don't believe it got into that. But bridge was a really popular game. Bridge faces some of the same challenges as mahjong, which is also interesting. Bridge is not an easy game to learn at all.
Bridge is even worse because there you've got a partner, and so my
You
gran
practically have to talk to.
loved bridge, and of course, as soon as you're an
Hi,
older age,
Gran.
your bridge partner dies. That's it. You've just spent 10 years of your life forming that bridge partnership,
I love how we
and
do not at all mourn this human relationship with this person who has passed away because now my bridge game is
oh,
fucked.
have you met bridge players?
How
They
can
are
you do this
vicious.
to me?
They are vicious. You know that, and bowls. Those people, geez, those are angry, angry, scary people. No, bridge is vicious. Bridge is a vicious game compared to mahjong. Mahjong players are nice, but yeah. CRA mahjong's 200 years, but Ricci is only 100 years, so we're
Hmm.
very young. We're very young, very young.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of development to do, and it's kind of exciting
Hi,
because we're at a
Jen.
point where we are kind of shaping what this game's going to look like and what we want this game
And
to
I'm shy
be.
for burning bridges. God. Yeah, do you know?
I
So
need.
my gran played bridge, vicious, and then my granddad played bowls, and I thought
Oh,
bowls was
chocolate
just
chip.
rolling balls down a lawn. You know, I thought it was pleasant. No, those vicious humans.
Can we get a publicity shot of you, Gemma? I just realized I need this. I need this for Sparrow's Nest. I
What?
need a publicity shot of you. I need to put like it in that motivational poster format, and at the bottom it should probably say
Just
something
fold.
like, "Yeah, you should fold." Just you should fold, and we can hang that on the wall at Sparrow's Nest as one of
Only
our
if you
patron
do a
deities.
similar poster that says garbage.
Garbage. We should for sure do a player quote series. I think we should do that. I'm gonna consider this.
John's garbage.
He's
Just
garbage.
fold.
Just fold.
Uh,
Um. Okay. So what do we got? What do we
I
got
don't know.
here?
Yeah, here's some actual mahjong. Yeah, okay.
What is our first draw? Okay, it's not bad.
Just fold it, Gemma.
Dude,
Just fold it.
fold like an omelet. What do we want to do here? I mean, we probably want to play this hand, right? It's first. This is a east south, right? This is a full game. Him. So we probably want to play. Yeah, we probably want to throw north.
I don't like my run picture. They didn't ask me what picture to use. They just nicked it from Twitter.
Oh no! So now you look silly. You look like you're not even taking this seriously. You look like you're just like, those are your tiles.
Yeah, and I was like, you could have asked me, guys.
What do we got? We got nothing exciting. Oh, we got 6. We got Ipeco opportunity. Might as well cut that 7. I don't like what's going on across from us, though. What's going on across from us? I don't like all these middle pin discards.
I think, Pez, that this picture might be quite old now. I'm trying to think how old it is. I think it's from 2016. So it's 8 years old.
Oh my God.
My professional picture's 8 years old. I should get... Dave, why don't you get us a photographer when I'm in New York? We'll get some new professional headshots taken.
Okay.
And then you can make them into big posters.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, we get some photos. I don't know if we'll have time. We got to figure out what we're gonna do with our time.
I can't give you an 8-year-old picture. The resolution's probably shit as well.
That's true.
I want to make sure you've captured my tired eyes.
Hey, what are we doing? There's a reach here. We can throw. Oh wow, you are really hot to fold. You're gonna throw the hard save. It is hard safe, but like, why don't we just throw this hots? I guess there's only 2 7-pin left in the world.
I probably have. Do you know? I probably haven't noticed the hats has been called.
Yeah, I'm like, the hots can go. Now the hots goes.
I probably haven't noticed.
We would have been Ishan-10 on Chitoy if we played this right.
Yeah, if I hadn't been dozing. Yeah,
we would have had to be a little risky about it, and we probably don't want to be. We're gonna throw the 8 Suji on the 5. I think we're kind of not interested. No, we are a little interested in this, in that we throw the 1. You can see 3 of the 2s.
I see 3 of the 2s. I can see.
You can see 1 of the 1s, so like it's in.
But if you're gonna throw the 8-pin for the Suji on the 5, you may as well throw the 2. Oh no, the 1-pin. What am I talking about? Gemma, shut up.
Yeah, no, the 1-pin isn't Suji on nothing. But oh no, you can see all. I'm sorry, you can see all 4 of the 2s. Okay, so you got Kabe on the 2, and you can see 1-1. So like, God bless you if that's your weight.
Yeah,
but sure.
This is from this week, remember? And as I said, I've probably been very sick.
And now you're back to Ishan-10. Okay. Shun can go. We got 2-man now safe, which is good for us because we have another safe if we really want. 1 can go.
Reki, I don't know who you asked to get pictures on Run. I don't know why some people get pictures and some people don't.
9 can go.
It's baffling to me.
9 so. This is worrisome. That worries me. And we go around it with the 6-man. We just decide. Yeah, I think that's fair. No one has been throwing so tiles really at all. So away we go. 1 so. We throw a 1 so? Why do we throw a 1 so?
Yeah, after throwing the 6-man, why did I think that 1 bamboo was safe?
Yeah, wow. Okay.
I'm not a very good player.
I'm not sure what string betting is.
I'm not a very good player. That's
you
poor
sure paved the way for our friends. Now the other 6. Now we're back to our Ishan-10, technically. 4, 5, 6 gets called from our dealer who's only dealt 2 man tiles, so now we probably never want to deal man tiles again.
Yeah,
5 man comes, but they actually win. They win on the 5 so they just had a quick Hots Dora 2, but with reds on, that's 3. That's 3, and you get away with your challenges. I am curious what the reach was. It was a 6-9 so. You did it. You successfully dodged the weight.
I think there's going to be an interesting education in playing when you're not feeling your best, but not actually acknowledging that you're feeling your best and you're up to playing Mahjong. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, I expect to see many of that. Well, then Gemma holding that 9, so that was
that's feeling the danger on the 9 so was the victory there. And now we look at this, and this is a rough time. This could be a flush. I guess I could throw a 2-pin and just like see what happens. But you just throw this out. That's fine. Now this feeling a little flushy. Feeling a little flushy. No,
Yeah, and
we're
I
not.
probably should have held on to that 2 pin. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No,
It
we're
doesn't
gonna
matter.
keep 7. We don't want to throw the 8-man because of the 9. It's a little risky for flush. I just feel like you could have thrown the 2-pin first to hold your flush option for like 1. These are really micro things because probably almost definitely your next discard is going to be that south.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not
7,
gonna
8,
call
9
that.
Sanshoku is, yeah.
We got 6, 7, 8. Okay, but at this point we're Ishan 10, so sure, we'll take the Ishan 10. We'll get rid of our Dora acceptance of the 9-man, and we'll be Tenpai on like Pinfu, maybe Ipeko.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Breach Pinfu Ipeko, always good. We get another 8. We don't want it. Hots gets called, so people are moving. We got a 6. We don't want it.
Don't really think I'm having to make many decisions here, though. It's just kind of
East of the
happening at
dealer,
me.
Dora comes out. It's a little worrisome, but North is not going to worry us right now. Oh, no. Probably we don't care about this, right? Yeah, we just don't care about it. That seems like the right answer. This is interesting because I wonder if we shouldn't be cutting the 3-so right here. Because it gives us another tile, the 8-so, although I think one of them's come out. It gives another tile we can take for Tenpai, even if it becomes a terrible Tenpai. Although if we get the 8-so, it becomes Tanyo. So we lose Pinfu, get Tanyo.
I don't really. I mean, why would I need speed? I've got nothing. I'm not going to have Tanyao only. Pointless, I think, for me. If I was dealer, maybe.
Oh, but look, you deal in. It deals in. I knew it. No, I didn't know it. But unfortunately, I feel like I might have, because I feel like I don't have right now any plan for getting the 2 or 5. Although, to be fair, the counterpoint to this is red 5 acceptance, this 3.
Yeah, I think maybe
we do have reds.
I could have thrown the 8 bamboo. As you said, I maybe should have been a bit more awake to that Dora coming up from the dealer. And an 8 bamboo would have been safe. I would have still been on a Pinfu trajectory.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you threw the 8 bamboo, you could have reconfigured it for the 7 as your pair. 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 4 becomes a red 5 acceptance set, and then you can still get Pinfu and still get the red. Yeah. That's a slight. Again, like these things are small, but these slight shape shifts can really be the difference between keeping or throwing dangerous tiles. This is a situation where we worry about what signals the table about hands. Oh.
I think we're not in a deep point situation yet where we're really we're still just trying to sort of.
Now the table knows I go for cheap Pinfu hands.
I mean, yeah. That's a good point. No, maybe.
Either way, we deal into double east.
I wouldn't be making a decision to go for a cheap Pinfu hand to transmit that information. Sel says, how about 9 so? Yeah, but 9 so is not safe necessarily on the dealer. The 8 bamboo was hard safe on the dealer, and the argument would be less about the hand building and the fact that with the dealer throwing away the Dora, they are. I can see they already got a Byaku. They're probably live throwing away the Dora, and I was asleep at the wheel, and I didn't notice that.
Like I see the virtue in 9 so, because as I said, it gets you to kind of this callable Tanyo situation if you really want to push faster. You can also see 3 of the 8 so.
I would tell you right now, I've already ruled out the callable Tanyo. I'd not do it.
I think that's silly. I think you shouldn't rule that out. Like, the thing is, maybe that's me, because I think about signaling to the table, and I want the table to feel like I've always got a knife in my boot if possible. Like, I want the table to know that I could push, at any time.
The 7 bamboo cut. The 7 bamboo cut is shit. I'm not going to defend that discard if that helps. I don't know if you weren't here, but like at the beginning, I've apparently been quite sick the last week, and I didn't know it until the rest of my household got very sick, and then I was like, oh, I've been unwell, not just entirely burnt out from life. So.
Yeah, I think overall it's like 3 or 8 or 9 would have been better cuts here. If possible.
And I think in the first hand as well, when I threw the North, my own wind over the Red Dragon, I saw that and I was like, oh, geez, this is not going to be a good game for me.
Well, let's see if we can win it back here.
It is interesting though how it doesn't take much in your well-being, your physical well-being, to really damage your mahjong game.
What are we doing here? Okay, we can throw a 9-pin. It's like, oh god, yeah. Feel better. It sucks. Sinus headaches are like the worst. I hate when my sinuses are out of whack. 2, 2, 3. Okay, we'll throw our north, even though it's the Dora and our wind. But one has no. I'm sorry, south is the Dora. I was
I
thinking
was
of
supposed to say
east.
it's not the Dora.
No, I was thinking of like east to north. I'm like, oh, we're north because we're next to east. I'm like, east. No,
I haven't gone
south is the
that
Dora.
crazy.
It is our wind, but one's come out, so fine. And you win for it. We pick up 3, 4, 5. And now we're thinking 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku, I'm sure. Because we're 2 Shanten on it. We get rid of the 8.
I'm 1 away from Tempai, so...
Yeah, we're 8 Shanten, we're 2 Shanten in the Sanchoku. And drawing that 5 is great for us anyway in our shapes, and draw, like, so many things. Oh, no!
It is always my favorite Yakuza.
Oh,
I'm always looking for it.
Oh, because this now whispers Itsu in your ear. But do you listen? Or do you actually throw the 9-so to get Tanya on top of all of it, which is not a bad idea?
No, I think I listen. I think I should listen. Do I listen?
No, you throw the 9-so. But 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku, reach Pinfu Tanya Sanchoku is pretty good. Maybe a red, like who knows?
It's pretty aggressive Sanchoku.
Well, the other nice thing is if you do now draw into this 3, 4, 5, you can Dama with the ability to shut down the hand on Tanya until you get your cool upgrade.
I don't think I can have a good argument that this is good play, though.
So now we double up on the fight. So now we can call into Tanya if we want to really push. Okay. And we don't want the 1, 2, 3. Like, we lower our acceptance, we kind of just don't want the 1, 2, 3. We're going straight for our dreams.
I think I agree. I think Itsu might have been keeping that one there would have been a smarter play, personally.
Oh,
do you know what
no.
The other problem is I really like 3-pin, and so I often try to build rates around 3-pin because I'm convinced that 3-pin loves me and would always bless me.
Now we have this one. Now we can have the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shape, which is pretty great.
Yeah, no, I definitely throw the 2-man here. And if I don't, I'm wrong.
No, you throw the 3-so, which locks in the 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we give up on Sanchoku.
Okay. So,
but we have the option for the 3-sided weight.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
East can go. Here's our red 5-pin, which is actually, this is great. Because now we can switch. Now we got the Pinfu, and we got Pinfu, Dora, possibly Tanya, probably reach for this hand. We don't call this Tumon because we're not going to rush this to Tanya Dora 1. We make that choice.
I bet you had the no call button pressed.
We get another 2. Shun, we're now just hoping to draw, as everyone else now is like, oh, it's aggression time. Let's do this. We cannot draw what we need. We have a dealer reach out, but we know this 2-man is safe, so our path to ready is safe. Here we go, and I'm assuming we now chase reach with the 2-man, which we do. And wow!
See, 3-pin blessed me! I'm telling you, 3-pin blessed me! I'm right!
And we immediately deal into Bisan with that safe against the reach 2-man. For nothing.
Oh, well, no worries then.
On the 2, 4, 5 weight. How unfortunate. How unfortunate, because this was our reach Pinfu, probably Tanyao.
It was a blessing. Don't diss the 3-pin.
The chase was beautiful. This was like the perfect chase.
Yeah.
But Bisan got there
3-pin will now punish Bisan for not.
Oh, this looks good. I like this.
Well, nice.
And all these hands, like, we dealt in twice, but they're both tiny hands, like 2,600, 1,300. Like, okay. I mean, it's not good. Hardly the worst. We draw a Dora. We get rid of our dragon. This is a great hand to start. We'll go to the other dragon. We don't care. Oh, man. It is Itsu time. And we trim down the non-Dora side, which is great because drawing a Dora could get us Tenpai as well. So let's keep the Dora Tenpai. Oh, now what? No, we are greedy. We want our Dora pair or our good old... Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. Reach Pinfu Itsu Dora 1. This is it. This is the comeback hand.
That's fast as well. That is fast.
That's true. You could have thrown the 5-so for the Dora only weight, which would have been real funny. It would have been gutsy. 9P Dora Tonki meme. Yeah, like nine. No, sorry, nine P. It's 9M. 9M Dora Tonki meme. If you did that, it would be what? Riichi. Well, you're losing Pinfu, but gaining the extra Dora, so it's one more. So it's Riichi Dora 3 Itsu, which is Hane. But instead, you win off of the dealer for your kind of ideal hand with a flip. So it's Hanemon anyway.
It's all about drawing the right tiles.
Itsu. Yeah, that's what I always tell people. That's why when we were playing I might have done Damador. Damador Tonki would have been interesting. Yeah, yeah. When Anna and I were learning Taiwanese the other night, I was like, "Don't let me draw the tiles. You have to draw the tiles. I'm too good at drawing tiles. That's the one thing I'm good at Mahjong. I'm good at drawing tiles, so don't let me do it." And that rockets you into first place.
Woo! Oh wow! Now we're talking about drawing tiles.
This isn't bad. Oh yeah, we got our Dora.
It's got 3 Dora in it.
We got our 3 Dora, but this is going to be a rough hand to get ready.
Yeah, it will be.
We don't have anything we can just steal. So we're going to trim. Is it Chitoy? It could be Chitoy. We'll trim some edges. We'll get rid of Haku. It's useless. I don't like 5-man, but fine. It's better than Chun, which has come out. Yeah. Oh, no. It's Chitoy. Chitoy Ishanten. Can we do it? Interesting. I would have thrown the 2 because one's come out already. There's our first missed pair. So now we have 2, 3, 4. What do we do? What are we going to do? We're going to throw out the West.
Yeah.
We're going to look at 2, 3, 4, 5, but we've thrown a 6 already. I don't know if this is the right answer.
What are you doing, Gemma? This is like the most cringeworthy game I've seen myself play.
Oh, okay. We got the closed set of 4s now. So now what? Do we cut down the 1s and 2s? What do we cut?
Dave, I'm so cringy. This is really...
Okay, so the 3-so gets us Tenpai. We've cut the 1-so. No other 1-so have come out. We're calling a Tanyao.
Oh, Gemma.
Dealer reach. Oh, you know why? It's because this dealer has killed the 3-so very aggressively.
Oh, okay. That's
so
fair
we're
enough.
A little sad. Oh, and 2 reaches on the table and okay, well, too bad. The sad part is, do we have a Chitoy hand in here? I mean, if we'd snagged the 9-pin, we have 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 5 pair, 6 pair. But only if we'd been psychic and snagged the 9-pin. We didn't whiff it.
Oh, thank you, Dunning. Thank you, Dunning. Yeah.
We gave up on the Chitoy for Tanyao Dora 3, which is Mongon anyway. Chitoy Dora 3, I guess Reach Chitoy Dora 3 is Hanemon, but otherwise Chitoy Dora 3 is just Mongon. So
I think maybe there's just so many Dora. I got yeah. I mean, look at that.
The other nice thing about this configuration is that the Dora lets you you can call the 3rd Dora if you want to. So
well, that doesn't really impact me anyway. I'm still... In fact, that's probably a good situation for me.
Yeah, I mean, this was not an unreasonable push, I don't think. And you didn't lose any points, so hey. Oh no, I'm sorry. 3rd took points from 2nd, so that kind of like helps you. Ooh, hello, tiles. How are we doing today? This also looks like one of those hands that you could aggressively be like it's flush time if you really wanted to. It'd be a bit of a strong play, but I like strong plays. Now we got 2 Dora. Are we doing this? Are we flushing it? We probably should.
Not necessarily flushing it, but it's...
I'll take the 5-6. Well, we have Hots, so Hots will get us, Are we flushing yet? Are we flushing yet? We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. This is entirely time for the flush. And we grab it. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I probably would have thrown the 6 a little more early just to get it out of my hand, but we're going to 4, 5, 6. That's fine. We're going to wait for that Hots. Ooh, Concealed Con, which gets us not a Dora, but ups the stake of the game. We don't call the 7. We let the east lie, and we don't keep the chun. We keep the 5 and throw the east, also probably because it's very safe on the reach.
Hmm.
2, we just throw it. Oi. Now we're in a rough spot. Oh, if we'd held our beautiful chuns. But the only way to get Tenpai and Chun and Hots, well, it would have been a dead weight. It would have been weight only on the Hots, which kind of sucks. And the only
Hmm.
way to get Tenpai would have been to throw the Dora, which we probably would never want to do into this reach. So
No.
goodbye, Chun. Missed opportunity, but it's fine. 3-pin is safe. 8-so is safe. 2-so is wow. The 2-man is safe, but that's it. We just throw this 5-man to hold the 2-so.
I wonder what I saw there. That's interesting. I think because he'd thrown the 4-man as well, right?
Yeah, he'd thrown the 4-man. We also threw the 4-man, which is also another chance to get Tenpai that we miss out on, but it would have required throwing the Dora. 9-pin. Oh man, the Hots comes out as the last tile, and we can't grab it because it's the last tile, and the weight. Wow. Okay. Ugh. Everyone's no one's Tenpai. Sorry, but them. But that 7-man was 100% safe. Yeah, but if you throw the 7-man, you lose your path to Tenpai, which is a challenge. I wouldn't be folding this. It's our deal, and it's our like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a Mangan. I don't know if I'd be folding it.
Mangan. Nah.
We're not first by far enough that it's like an uncontested. Like if we were in 50s, the 50Ks, I'd be like, yeah, let's just get out of here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a very, especially because it's a red 5 rule set. This one, it's not very far ahead.
Yeah,
It's
red 5
that gap can be closed.
Pulls it all closer.
Hand easily. Yeah.
Yeah, like that one pin can't flip 3 door for that reach, so that was a dangerous reach. Yeah, reach west door 3 to begin with before any flips. Whew. Spicy. And now it's south 1, and you're above everyone, but not like wildly above everyone. This hand is interesting. I see a lot of pairs. This could be the called toy of your dreams.
I never dream of called toy ever. Just to let you know.
Well, you should. We throw that 2-pin. Throw the west. That gets called. Fine. We don't call the 9-pin. We let it go. We let it go. Oh no, our beautiful called toy.
Yeah.
And now we're Ishanten on Chitoy. You could have had it. It could have been yours.
I wonder what I'm doing.
You let the 1-pin go. I would have probably. Oh my god, we have a concealed con. We do a concealed con. Is it toy? Is that what we're doing?
Dave, if you know what I'm doing, I'd love to know.
I'm very.
Which 2-man? The first 2-man?
This one or the first one? Yeah, the first one.
The first one. Why wouldn't I cut the 2-man?
It's isolated.
Oh.
So now we have 4-pin as Dora.
Oh, I mean that. See, I'm really, I couldn't tell you what the goal is here.
We're inching closer to toy with this red 5-pin. We could have had chuns if we'd held them.
I don't think I'm playing at my best here. I really don't.
Oh, you don't even con this 5-pin just to be ridiculous.
Well, I'm still closed. I could still reach on a closed hand.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And that means you do call for toy. So now you're Tenpai on toy, potentially Sananko if you sumo it.
Oh, I'm so cringy. Oh, I'm so cringe. What are you doing, Gemma?
Yeah, no, it is true. At this point in the hand, that 5's got to get called. There's nothing else you can do but call that 5. It's got to happen.
I know, but I'm just waiting on the 1 bamboo.
Yeah. Now, let's play rabbit chasing, because right now someone just immediately deals into half flush hots. But I want to chase rabbits because I'm the worst.
Thank you, Dunning. I'm glad you
Gemma.
like my cause.
Gemma. Can't believe you didn't call that open con and immediately draw into Tempai.
This is a very silly game. This is not a game for sensible humans.
That would have been so cool, and then you would have just won. You would have won Toy Toy Dora with, like, enough food to make it Mangan. Because it would have been at least 24, it would have been at least 50. Obviously, what you should do after every game is go through the wall and see what you could have done, but I think that's funny. I'm like, yeah, if you'd actually been playing this aggressively, you could have just done it and hit manga and then immediately won.
That would have been super cool.
That would have been real cool. But it's okay, because again, we have we have the last place player getting points from second, which is great for you, because as long as they keep bouncing the points around and staying around 30k, like, you're hanging out in first. You don't even care.
This is a very small lead, though.
Yeah, like, you still want to play, because you want to extend this lead.
Though. I have the final dealership, which is
good. We got our hot. Okay. We got another Dora, so now we might be thinking about running away with this Ratanyo. But we have the material in our hand to effectively do it if we want to, so that's cool.
Yeah, 2 Dora's nice.
Well, now we got 7, 8, 9. So now we just got Reach Dora 2, which still isn't bad if it's really fast. And a 2-sided weight on it also, if we get the right tiles. Right, we're going to throw that so that we can take a third Dora if we want to and get Tempai on that as well, which is pretty sick. Aw, man. All right, we can throw the 2-pin because it's safe on the Reach, but they've just eaten up our 3s and eaten up our... How awful of them. But now we chase on the 4-pin, which is fine. This is a 1-4 weight, 2-sided weight, Reach, not Pinfu, but Reach Dora. It would have been nice. The only other thing we could have done that would have been nice is try to walk it towards Tanya, but I think just taking the Reach on the 1-4 here is totally smart.
I wouldn't dammer this with 2 Dora, I think,
no. It's totally the right answer. And we play it out. You don't like throwing 5s, can't help it. Don't like throwing 6s. Well, 3 extra 6s.
Mandatory Reach.
Yeah, like this just happens. And then we just play for a long time without a 1 or... every dangerous tile comes through our hands.
Yeah, that's...
Sumo.
Come on, Gemma. Dora.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Reach Sumo Dora. And Dora, we flip for full Mangan.
Yeah, an unnecessary extra.
Yeah,
Dora.
so many draws after that Reach was rough. Rough times. I hate that. I always hate, like, when I Reach, I mean, I love to Sumo. The second thing I love is just drawing a terrible tile no one wants, because at least I know it's a terrible tile. Not only is it a terrible tile no one wants, but it's also not going to help anyone with more safe tiles. So I'm like, I'm safe and I didn't help you, so that's good, I guess. But these draws were rough. But that's great. 10,000 points. That gives us a big enough lead now that we kind of don't care. We don't really
now
have
I can
to play
sit
now.
pretty.
We can
And
kind
I've
of
got the
muck
last
around.
dealership. I can sit pretty now.
And so we can just try to 2, 3. Yeah, we can throw some edge tiles here. 1, 2, 3. That's great. 4, 5 is great. Don't need 2, 4, 5. We're gonna grab the Chun and run. We throw the Haku out there to give people... Oh, man, Haku... Oh, boy. All right, well, this would be more scary if we didn't have all these Chuns. But it's still not good. 4, 5, 6. We'll throw the 9-pin. Oi. What do we do? Interesting. Oh, we throw the 7 because we'd otherwise be 40-10 on it. That actually does make sense. Yeah. And now we're Reach. Wow, everyone's really trying to play Mahjong here, and I'm frustrated by this. So what do we do here? We could throw the 4-so. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We could throw the 5-so to be Tempai. I don't really like that.
It's got to be the 5-so, I think.
Do we take Tempai? We take Tempai? We could take Tempai.
I go take Tempai, yeah. I just... There's no obvious safe tiles to play with, so you may as well just do it. Right?
Yeah, and then Captain Right Hand over here deals in to just reach E-Pots. That's it. which is a
Again,
little fortunate for them, but I'm curious, what were they doing?
That's a fine outcome for me.
Wow, they were really just doing called Toy Toy. I
Yeah,
mean, they got there, so
but
maybe
that's
that's cool.
Mangan.
Yeah, it's Mangan. It's the old Toy Toy Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was worried about something like Honroto or something like that because
I
of
was
all
more
these
worried about
honors.
where the Dora were, and I don't see them anywhere. They're in the wall.
Yeah, where? 1, 2, 3. They're all 4 Dora. 2 of them are in the dead wall, and 2 of them have yet to come out. That is scary. That is scary. Yeah. Well, we took Tenpai.
I think Dunning. I have to take the Tenpai. I don't. There's no obvious tile to fold on, so just throw it. Just do it.
Yeah, there's really not an obvious win here. So we did it. All right, what do we got here? This is a pretty solid start for our last deal, actually. I like that.
2
4,
Doras.
5, 5, 6, 7, 2, 2, 3, 4. Like, that's pretty sick.
Holy high pie.
4, 6, 8. This is a pretty good high pie, yeah. We got a pair of 8s. That's actually really nice because now we have the 2, 3, 4 complete, and we can just get Tenhou done if we want to. And now we have we're Tenpai on Tenhou, waiting on a 5-man, which isn't awesome. We can just win for just Tenhou Dora 2. End of story. We don't take the 7. We don't need it.
Arguably, I should have reached here because I'm dealer, but it's at all last, I don't think I'm going to push anyone off whatever they're doing.
Probably not, given that everyone's like desperate to make something happen here. They're all so close. Oh, and they deal in. Zonk. Okay. Tenhou Dora 2. Totally by surprise. Unfortunate for 3rd place because now you are very much in last. Does this game does now end. Oh no. Yeah, that's unfortunate for our pro here. Because they did not. I don't know. I mean, let's check. Was there a need? The key thing that would have made there be a need for reach, obviously, is Uradora, which there were none. That's not really the reason you would be.
No, I don't think any reach is going to modify how they play, and I might want to modify how I play if I start to see something very dangerous.
Wow. All right. Credit for them, because this was potentially
a monster.
Yeah, like Cheetoy concealed half flush. That's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's Hanemon. Hanemon Sumo would have gotten them up to 37, and you down to 49.
But Cheetoy half flush 5, 2 Dora.
Reach. Oh no, wait, 2. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 2 for the Cheetoy, 2 for the Dora for 4, 3 for the half flush to 7. Yeah. 8 for the reach.
Yeah.
And that makes it Baimon.
Yeah.
9 on Atsumo.
Yeah.
And then Sanbaimon if you get any flip.
Yeah.
So Baimon is 16, which is 8, 4, and 4. Yeah. And that means it's a 24,000. It was enough. It was enough to get them into first.
Yeah, it was.
Sheesh. I forgot the door. I didn't even look at the door. Oh man. And that's an exciting play. I mean, I'm curious how that hand developed for them. Like they were dealt just nonsense actually. They really built that. They really drew that. Because they were dealt just a pair of south. They dropped
just
the 1.
Imagine being dealt that.
Second Chun, Haku's dead. Second 2-pin, 8-so's dead. Second 4-pin. Well, now with this second 4-pin, like, all right, it's go time. I got to do something. I got to call this. I can at least make, South Chun Dora. So I at least got Mongon, and Mongon's great because Mongon will get you into second place.
I mean, if you get even with Toy flush.
We'll keep the 4-5 over everything.
2 Dora. You had the red dragon and the green dragon.
Keep the 1 pin over the 9-man.
You could have had a Baiman already. Yeah.
And now with the second 1 pin, we start to drain this out to say, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. And then this was all in time. Not only was this a very good play from them, straight up. But like they got their draws in such a great order that they were able to keep like working up their ambition from like Maybe it's South Shindora 2, like maybe a flush, maybe even Cheeto. Like, they were able to keep improving and improving it. So, like, again, it's Mahjong, right? What they did, I think, was an entirely correct series of plays. They ended up dealing in, but that doesn't make you. I think that's something, again, people, especially newer players, don't always understand. It doesn't make you a bad player. If you dealt in stupidly for no reason with a tile you never should have thrown, that might make you a bad player. But, well, yeah, you deal into an incredibly fast dealer Dama with a tile you need to get rid of to make your awesome hand that would get you into first place if you win it. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That entirely makes sense. And it doesn't make you it doesn't make you a bad player because you dealt in. It's just
I have to be honest, I don't think it's the strongest example of my play that I've seen the whole game.
You don't think this is peak Gemma play?
No, I've got to be honest. No. I said at that very first discard on the very first hand, I saw that and I was like, oh, Gemma. What do I shout at people for? And here you are doing the exact same thing.
What was
I didn't say it at the time because I was.
It was your own win, yeah.
I was so internally cringing. Like, why?
Eh.
Not air,
Yeah.
Dave. You know it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know it's wrong. Not
Yeah.
air. It's
Yeah.
not good. It's
Yeah.
very not good. Yeah, I mean, there's positive stuff done, but I think the problem is I was sort of a little bit on autopilot. So
yeah.
the good stuff that I was doing probably wasn't with structured decisions, and that's when I don't like my play. I like my play where I feel in control. I know why I've done something, even if that means I don't win. I think that having that focus is really the greatest challenge of Mahjong. And share. Okay, I might go in and I might play a game, and I might not be at my best for whatever reason, whether it's because I'm sick or I'm tired or the door rang or whatever. But
well, I think it's important to remember and to be a little fair. And a lot of these things are like really micro changes. Like, okay, first of all, yeah, you're right. Half the games I play, if I sit down to start the game, I'm gonna be like, oh, North, get out of here. Out of this hand, I'm just gonna be like, North, get out of here, whatever. And they're like, shoot, I forgot that I was North because I wasn't even looking at the seating. Like, first of all, that's totally natural, especially for the literal first discard of the game.
I would like it if it went gray, the seat wins.
Yeah, that's true. The seat wins are kind of faded out. Like if it was a more notable thing for you. Yeah. But like also, really, if you didn't throw the North first, you almost definitely would have thrown it second. And like a lot of these things, and I can kick myself for these things too all the time. But I think we both recognize like they are kind of micro things where it's like one time in 100, your second draw will be that North. That would have been a huge boost to you. So, well, actually, what are the odds? If you have equal odds of drawing every tile, it's like about one in every. How many? One. Well, 60 or 70 times. Like that draw is going to be a North. Let's
it frustrates me because I like to bring my best to the game every single time. That's more important to me than winning. Is bringing my best to the game. And that North. First discard is not bringing my best to the game. Dunning says that the 7-man when we were doing the flush was a major blunder. Do you know what? I'm going to say probably the 7 bamboo throw on the second hand was a bigger blunder than that one.
No, it's 105.
Oh,
there
thank
are
you,
105 other tables on the 105 other tiles on the table, and 3 of them are North.
Dave's still doing maths.
3, yeah. I'm curious. What are the actual? Because this is an important thing to think about. Like, what are the odds? Because a lot of these things they're micro optimizations. They're things that most of the time don't happen. So 3 out of 105
But
is
the North wind is valuable for me, not just in the case I can draw another North wind. It's a potentially safe tile if that's where I'm taking my hand.
True.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not doesn't have to. No one's going to be looking at that discard and be like, that's it. Gemma, she just quit Mahjong. She's just too bad at playing this game. But I do think that obviously, for whatever reason, my focus wasn't. I mean, maybe I'd sat to queue and then I was like, I had to wait like 10 minutes and I was like off somewhere with the fairies and then I came back. I don't know.
No, actually, Dr. Ballon, my math is perfect. Basically, what the math that I'm doing is saying that there are, including people's hands, 105 tiles on the table that you don't have and that you can't see. And for the North to be specifically that draw, actually it's slightly less. I'm slightly off because by the time I get to my second draw, there are 63 tiles left in the wall. So there's slightly less. There's 3 tiles, 102 tiles on the table that I can't see. And so the odds of the North specifically being my second draw is 3 in 102. So 3 out of all of those tiles are Norths, and the odds of me drawing one of them when I pick a tile is 3 in 102. So you actually can get the odds of drawing the North in that specific draw. The odds of ever drawing a North become much more complicated to calculate. But you can do the math. But I think one of the reasons, at least the way I look at it, is when I do when you get to the point of really trying to refine your game, and I'm not going to say I've succeeded, but I will say that I really try to refine my game. I really have the desire to do it. There are those really small things that you want to be very ruthless in winnowing out, because those small things do add up in the long run. But it's true that you also want to be humane to yourself. Like, you don't have to hate yourself, be like, I'm a terrible garbage Mahjong player because I
but
discard. Yeah, I decomposed. I decomposed 8-9 by throwing the 9 first instead of the 8 first. Like stuff like that. Like, there are good habits you can get. There are things you want to remember and root out and be like, I should have done that more correctly. I should have done that better. But you want to be real about the fact that you're doing it to cover these edge cases, and not because you just don't get Mahjong.
And a lot of people, they go, oh, how do I improve my Mahjong? What do I read? What do I read to improve my Mahjong? And I think before you can read anything, you have to be able to get your focus. 99% of the time, you have to be able to bring your focus to the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you read. Like, that's the next step. If you can't bring your focus and you can't feel it, I've talked to you, Dave, about it. When I come off a table, I'm like, yeah, I was third, but do you know what? I was in control. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
That's the focus I need. And other times I've come off a table, and even though I've won, like here, I come off the table, I'm like, I didn't have my focus. I wasn't in control. That's yeah.
It's interesting because I'd almost I'd almost reverse it. And what I'd say is the same thing in many ways, because I agree about that feeling. But I think maybe a way to look at it is almost like when you are able to really focus on the game, you are then able to extract a good feeling.
Yes.
Even if you didn't win.
That's the Mahjong high, right? They talk about runner's high. The Mahjong high is coming from being in control of your game.
Yeah. I can play games where I come in third or fourth, and it's a little frustrating because, I didn't get my wins. It didn't happen for me. But if I was there and I was focused, I can come out of that saying, like, yeah, but I did the right stuff.
Yeah. Your brain.
I was doing the right stuff. Tiles didn't work.
Yeah.
Other people did better. Other people outplayed me. All these things happen.
Yeah.
But I was there and I was in it and I was doing the right thing. And I don't feel like I screwed up.
No.
This one just didn't work out. And you can still extract that feeling of I did well. Or you can extract the feeling of there were a few things I needed to improve there, but I know what they are.
Exactly.
And I know what happened. I was there. I was present. I was focused.
It's that feeling of competition that keeps me coming back for more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been to tournaments where I've been like this. You sit with people who are just fundamentally better at Mahjong than yourself. But if you but if you can be focused and really in the game and playing your best, you can still come off that table going, yes.
Yeah, you can be like, that was what I did what I needed to do. I was where I needed to go, stuff like that. And I feel like this is also something that I've seen people, as they grow as players, grow into. Being able to come out of the game, not just being like, oh, I didn't win, or oh, the tiles didn't work out for me, but being able to be like, yeah, that game didn't go so well, but I nailed what I wanted to accomplish. At the end of that last hand, even though I didn't get it, I was tempai on a hand that would have brought me from third to fourth. Third to first.
Yeah,
giving away points.
Like our friend on the left, right?
Yeah, exactly. They were doing exactly what they needed to do, and at the end of that game, they can be like, well, that wasn't fun, but I was getting where I needed to be.
Oh, and he was definitely hyper-focused, right? He wasn't just on autopilot heading towards the fastest tempai hand. He looked at it, he decided where he needed to take it.
You can tell from his portrait. He's just peering at you.
At me going.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, whatever.
And again, my portrait does not give me. I want a Mahjong headshot where I have the focus look.
All right. I will talk to some folks about seeing what we do.
Are you? I mean, you've got people in your house now that can take photos. We'll just do that.
I do. We have a few options. We can work on. We got bros with in different areas.
We should be Mahjong therapists. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a thing because, again, I think the problem is the game does have there's a lot of volatility in the game. There's randomness in the game, and it can be really hard to especially for newer players who don't
Mm.
understand all the ways in which things can influence how the game goes. There's the tiles themselves. There's the way the other people at the table are actually playing. There's your own mindset and your own what's it called? Your own internal stability. How emotionally stable are
Oh
you right now? How
yeah.
much you're going to let your emotions kind of impact your judgment, which is a human thing. I'm not trying to belittle anyone. It's a very human thing to let your emotions impact your judgment. Everyone does it. And all those things can lead to like good or bad experiences at the table. And I think, when you have much newer players, they'll come out of a game, they'll either be like, well, I sure felt great or I sure felt bad. I'm late for that, Zaps. I got to go back in time.
I
Use my
mean, but
passport
it's
photo.
like it's like everything, right? You get on your train, you're going to your event, and you're sitting on the plane, and you're like, just imagine if I win this event. This might be the event I win. I haven't won an event in ages, and you go, and then it starts going wrong, and then it's just a slippery spiral because you
Yeah.
built yourself up to imagining yourself on a podium with a trophy in your hand. And I guess if I am to be your Mahjong therapist, I'm going to tell you not to manifest the trophy in your hand, but to manifest that Mahjong high when you've played a really focused game. That's what you should be aiming for every single tournament rather than the trophy.
Yeah, you'll get the trophy
Yeah.
sometimes. It'll
If
happen.
you will get the trophy if you can command that level of focus, if you can control your emotions to that degree. The trophy is something that is a natural outcome of maintaining the emotional
Mm,
stability. I
mm.
think that's the thing. I think people sometimes sort of, it's very difficult to force the trophy into your play. I've tried.
It's true.
You
It's
know,
true. You can't you
over
can't like
over
just
a
make it
decade.
happen. You can't
I
just make it
can't. Yeah,
happen.
you can't be like, right, I'm going to play really good mahjong today because again,
Bum,
when you
bum,
start doing that and you make a mistake, then the emotional stability starts to crumble. So my emotional stability says diamond can.
yeah, I mean you're an outgoing person. A very outgoing person.
um,
and someone who yearns to ruin Garth's emotional stability.
but you know what? But Garth and I would joke every single time that when we went to league and we were hungover, we would play better
I told this
mahjong
story recently.
because we weren't, we were too exhausted to have any emotions. Um, and we just fold most of it until there was a hand that we really had to push. But yeah, I think that sometimes you sort of when you've got there and you're like, oh, just make it through today. You don't have all of those, oh, I'm going to win a trophy sort
Just
of
make it through
things.
today. Just I
I
hope
think
no
that's
one notices we're wildly hungover. I hope oh god, I hope I can just get out of here.
it's all right. I was in my oh god, I'm in my late 20s. I could get away with it then.
Hmm.
Yeah, now I'm on the 3-day hangovers. I mean, I'm off the slosh at the moment anyway, because there's one thing I've learned is that alcohol and winter and me do not mix anymore.
It's funny because I have a friend who I will leave unnamed who plays better when they are a little drunk.
Hmm.
Because when they are a little drunk, they don't uh second guess themselves as much.
You don't like I said, I used to, I don't know, like when I was doing my final
It's
degree,
down again.
I would not write an essay unless I had a bottle of wine, and I would drink the bottle of wine as I wrote the essay because it was the only way I could find to turn off and
Hmm.
concentrate.
I'm not going to
And
encourage alcoholism,
no, it's it's
but
not
I
it's
will
not good
say
behavior.
it's more like there's a zone you want to be able to get
Yeah,
yourself into where you are
yeah.
focused and you are not
Oh,
like doubting yourself and second guessing everything you do and being stressed out.
every single degree exam, I'd have a couple of glasses of wine before I went in, take the edge off. Don't do this at home. This is terrible behavior.
Yeah, don't use wine to fix your study
But as you
issues
said, it's
if you
it's
can
it's
help it.
that it's that it's that stabilizing yourself. And whereas before I was using alcohol, I now try to not do that. Red Bull definitely does not help. The number of Mahjong players I see drinking Red Bull, that is not going to help you at all.
Mm,
Flat
mm,
out will
mm,
not help
mm.
you.
Yeah, don't. Is that a thing? Dark rum, pineapple juice, orange. Why does everyone does these things? I'm so confused.
Off topic. I'm currently losing my mind over how Japanese managed to mangle Vietnamese names. Yeah, I'm sorry, can't help you.
Oh dear. T can help me. Yeah, T can help.
Tea House of Focus. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that the trick here is trying to find that level of control over yourself without the external stimulus that some of us have relied on in our more degenerate pasts. So, Dave, what have you been doing this week for Mahjong? Because I
Oh
think
my
you did
god,
something very exciting.
I did something marginally exciting.
It was very
So
exciting. Can you share the link in
I
the
thought it
chat
was
for
pretty
everyone?
exciting. I can hold on. Let me find the link. I have the link somewhere.
Dave's
Um,
famous now.
I
He's going to be on the Letterman show soon. Is it the
I
Letterman
don't
show?
think that's
I
true.
don't even know what that is.
So no trophy. Yeah. So this week, the Brian Lair show on WNYC Public Radio reached out to me. They were doing a series on hobbies. No, it's not a late night show.
It's not that
It's
cool.
a radio show. Because they heard I had a face made for radio, and they were right. So they were doing a series on hobbies. They want to talk about Mahjong as a hobby. So they reached out to me, and I did a short little conversation with Brian Lair about Mahjong as a hobby. It was Thursday, actually. I have a link here to the segment specifically. If people are curious, take a look at it. I'll probably be publishing. I think it was on our socials as well. We'll probably be publishing a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun. It was fun to go on the radio. It was fun to have a little conversation with someone about Mahjong. I had to use my nice microphone, this microphone, for it, so I don't sound particularly better or worse.
Did you have to do it remote?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wasn't in a studio.
Wow.
It was all call in show via Zoom. I would have loved to go into a studio.
Gone to a studio.
Oh no, that would have been so cool.
That would have been really
so happy
cool.
about that. But
I'm
no,
sorry,
it was
Dave,
cool.
not to undermine.
Yeah, now I'm not. Now it's over. Now I'm not cool. Now it's just lame and it sucks.
I just had an image of you like in sort of really 90s style studio, sitting there waiting to go in. There's a light, Oh wow.
No, it was a good time on the show. I really appreciate them for having me on. It was neat to be on the radio. So now we got that going on, which is pretty cool. My fancy mic, it's not better than what radio stuff. It's not. No, it's not better than like a studio mic. This is a good mic. It's very nice. I mean, it's a Blue Yeti, but it's not
probably
like,
more the lack of a studio that's going to impact his, and the
yeah,
huge train line outside his window.
That wasn't so bad. The what's it called? The fact that this is directional and has decent gain control means it's not so bad. If the cars are honking like crazy, though, it gets a little rough. But yeah, so we did that. That was pretty cool. We're looking at doing some more things. We got some more cool promotions and events coming up. We had some inquiries about setting up an American Mahjong day. Having a good mic does help. It really does. And the radio studio mics are really great. You can get braille from your pop filters and stuff like that.
And it's not long before I'm there in your apartment.
I know. It's only going to be, 2 weeks? Is that only? No, it's like 2 weeks and 3 days. I got to book Medieval Times for us. We got to figure out our schedule of what we're doing. Like, we actually do need to sit down and figure out our schedule. We do need to set up a schedule.
And Troll is coming to the event as well on the weekend.
Troll is coming to the event. It's going to be super cool.
Exciting.
I'm going to flog the event again. Hold on. Let me get my event link.
Troll is going to paint. It's going to be like Warhammer, but Mahjong tiles.
You could say that.
Right?
You could say that.
Come on. Warhammer does better than Mahjong when it comes to monies.
Do we want to do a live in-person stream?
With us in the front of the same microphone, the same camera. Like, I don't know, Dave might be uncomfortable sitting that close to me.
It would be a little awkward. I'd be like, what the heck? Who are you? We don't hang out together. I'm going to publicize this a little bit more. Oh man, I should publicize it. There's places I've even forgot to publicize this. But here, this is our event. So this is the Mahjong tile coloring workshop with Karen Aruba. It's going to be a super great workshop. If you're in the New York area, you get the chance to
Wait, was I supposed to select a tile?
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
Oh geez, I didn't do that.
All right, well, tell me immediately after this, and I can get it locked in.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I want the interstate sign. There you go.
Okay. Oh, message this to me. I'm actually going to update immediately after this because
I want both of them, but I'll take the interstate sign.
Well, Karen Aruba does have a store on Etsy. She does a lot of really cool stuff. We probably could we should actually do this. I should haul my equipment in, and we should just set up to do a stream from the studio. And then I should probably do this stream regularly from the studio because that'll make everyone's life a lot easier. In terms of like me being there to be able to start the meetups when they happen.
And then we're actually doing the journey of streamerdom from our bedrooms to
our streaming studio, which also is a place we're going to want to be streaming games from in the long run anyway. So like all these things are good. We should probably, whenever anyone has time to help me schlep some stuff, if any of our viewers are hanging out waiting to help me schlep some stuff, that'd be super cool. But Sparrow's live stream should become something that we do pretty regularly. But this class is really, really cool. Again, it's the first time it's being offered outside of Hong Kong. You get to paint and finish your own Mahjong tiles. You get to use some custom Mahjong tiles. You get to try out the drill used for the circle tiles. It's really, really cool. Karen's going to be in town for a short while to deliver the class. We have 2 sessions, one at 3 p.m., one at 7 p.m. The 3 p.m. session is already super sold out, but the 7 p.m. session still has some slots. So if anyone does, I know many of you are in Europe. My condolences. No, Europe's actually really, really cool. But if you do want to schlep on over for a workshop, there's still some time to make some plans. Otherwise, we'll try to get some photos, and we'll try to get some media of us hanging out with Karen and just some pictures to share with everybody.
Right.
Did I? I'm sure I did post this here at some point, so I'm going to post this again.
Well,
I'm thinking of places to post this event.
I'm not going to be a total downer, but I might want to end the stream a little early so that I can go back to
tend
caring
to your family.
For everyone being sick. Do you know, and yeah, do you know the problem is, like, as an adult, right? You've got work to do, so you're a little bit sick, and then you're like, oh, it's fine, I'll just keep going. And
yeah,
do you know, I always when I was working in the office, I'd always get sick whenever I took holiday. It's like my body was like, oh, it's time to get sick now, and you're like, great. You know, we have paid sick leave in Europe. You know, be sick on someone else's time.
That's crazy. I know about sick days. I got to worry about getting a job now too. I'm in that looking for a job mode, and it is not fun. I don't want a job. Jobs suck.
And the job market at the moment
is something like King Mahjong or HK Mahjong. I mean, we could do some HK Mahjong broadcasts. We could do some stuff. We're also actually going to be getting some final info on our United States themed Mahjong set on this visit. So that's going to be an exciting time. We'll be able to have some details, maybe some pictures of the physical sets. So we'll have that to share with you pretty soon as well.
Finding a job anywhere at the, it's not that bad, but it just sucks. I hate interviews. I hate doing my CV.
Yeah, it's not misery, but like, I don't know. It's just frustrating. No one likes doing it.
I hate like trying to work out whether it's going to be a good employer or not.
Yeah. There's that whole weird dating thing where you're like,
yeah,
is this
right?
gonna be cool? Are you actually cool?
Can't you just do it on Tinder? Can't we just like swipe left or right on each other?
Yeah, and then all the employers who are just like, you know how you qualify people for a job? You torture them. And then the ones who make it through the torture get to be employees. And I'm like, well, that seems not like anything I want to do.
My favorite on like job description adverts is like, must be able to embrace change. And I'm like...
Oh dear, that's a rough one to see. We always talk about fast-moving environments for us. We're talking about fast-paced environments.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you mean we're just going to be living in cycles of like redundancy
uncontrollable roller coaster forever? Like, I don't know, man. If your direct manager turns to be an anti-Mahjong person, oh no.
Oh, do you know when? So when I was in one office job,
goodbye.
My boss found out that I played Mahjong, and he was like, he was just sitting there going like, but Gemma, I thought you were such a nice girl. I thought you were a nice girl. You play Mahjong? Oh, I thought you were a nice girl. And I was like, what? So don't tell your Japanese boss you play Mahjong is my hot tip for if you want to succeed in the workplace.
I'll make sure not to work for a Japanese company at all, because that might be a challenge.
No, it's all right. They don't expect the same things from us. But my Japanese colleagues, oh, geez, that was a bad time for them. Yeah.
All right, anyway. We'll let Gemma get back to helping her poor family to survive.
Whatever typhoid
slightly short stream, but we're going to try to we'll try to move our hardware, because also the nice thing, because we're having our Reach League next Saturday.
So we're not streaming next Saturday, right?
Well, we could if I get the hardware into the studio, because then I can be there.
Well, you let us know.
I can just be sitting there. I also need to figure out how to keep it to be reasonably quiet. So it's not
otherwise it'll be the 23rd we stream next.
Yeah, otherwise it'll be the 23rd. We'll see if we need to adjust our schedule. No, wait, the 23rd. No. Yes. Oh my God, a week of 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could just do a stream on another day if necessary.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
My Fridays are pretty good, actually. So
Friday, I'm often on site at the studio during that.
Right. You let me know, Dave. You're a busy man. I'm not a busy person. Right.
We're all busy people. What do you guys? May 1st or 2nd weekend? I don't think do. I have anything scheduled for May?
Was I supposed to? I have not thought that far.
I might. Hold on. This is not the calendar that I want to look at. I'm going to look at my calendar real quick.
I haven't thought that far in advance of my life, so.
I don't think I have anything booked then.
Oh wait, I was supposed to be going to Oss on the 10th, 11th, and 12th, but I don't think I can get the time off, so I think I have to cancel my registration. So definitely free on the first weekend of May. Maybe not free on the second weekend of May.
Yeah, I think we're pretty. I'm reasonably free at this point. I expect it all to fill up because everything always fills up. But right now, oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely am not in a world where I could not do that. Like, I think last time, I think for the last tournament, unfortunately, I was like literally out of country at the time.
I know, Troll. I'm waiting to see. I'm getting the final answer on Tuesday to next week, and then I'll know. But yeah, sucks.
Well, thank you all for joining us. We will let you know if we'll be back next week. Hopefully we will. Otherwise, we'll be back a week after that. But I'm hoping I can get equipment over, and I'll just stream during League, and I'll just take the camera around and point them. How are you doing in Mahjong? While they're sitting there trying to concentrate. It'll be so great. Everyone will appreciate it so much. I would never do that this time.
I've got a tale to tell you about that when I was in Japan. Remind me next time we're on stream. It's quite a funny tale.
I'll do it. All right. So thanks, everyone. Right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Zaps. Bye, Becky.